Hello and Assalamu alaikum students. Today our topic is DMAIC. It is a five-step problem-solving process for process improvement and control. Let us consider you are a quality control engineer in a company and you are given an assignment to provide a solution in order to improve the performance of an existing system. You can use this process, the DMAIC process, to do that. So the five steps which are involved in this process are define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. These are supposed to happen step by step in this sequence. So at the end of each step there is an evaluation of that step, and before you cannot move to the next step until that evaluation is successful. It can be explained with the help of a toll gate example. Like each once you complete a step, you arrive at a toll gate where a project manager evaluates the performance of your previous steps, and if he satisfies, he lets you go or lets you proceed to the next step, and so on. Like for example, in the first step, which is define, the objectives of these steps are identify and or validate the business improvement opportunity, define critical customer requirements, document map processes, establish project charter, and build a team. So when you complete this, you will arrive at a toll gate, and the project manager will see if all these objectives have been achieved or not. Then you move towards the next step, which is measure, and the objectives of this step are determine what to measure, manage measurement data collection, develop and validate measurement systems, and determine sigma performance level. So once you complete this step, you arrive at a toll gate where the project manager will evaluate if these objectives have been achieved or not, and let you proceed to the next step, and so on until the process is completed, and then it is handed over to the owner of that system. Okay, let's go towards the first step of this process, which is define. In this step, you have to define what the problem is. You have to study the whole process, then you have to define what the problem is and what are the measurements that you can take, and the project that you are going to propose is that does that project has breakthrough potential or not. Breakthrough potential means that this project must have significant effect significant positive effect on the improvement of the existing system. Okay, so the helping tools for this step, for the defined step, can be the process maps, flowcharts, value stream maps, and SIPOC diagrams. S stands for supplier, I stands for input, P stands for process, O stands for output, and C stands for customer. You can see this is a flow that you get raw material from the supplier as inputs, which are passed through a process, and it gives us an output that can be a product or a service, which is then delivered to the customer. An example of SIPOC diagram is this, which is for coffee company. In this company, the suppliers, the first one, the suppliers are Starbucks, purifier, and utility company, and the inputs that we are getting from these suppliers are ground coffee, water, filter, and electricity. And these inputs are used in this process in which we collect materials, brew the coffee, pour the coffee from the pot, and the output that we get is a cup of coffee which is hot and right in taste. It has correct strength, correct volume of the cup, means how many ounce does the customer order, and then this product is delivered to the consumer. Okay, this is an example of an SIPOC diagram for process of coffee. And after that, once we have done all this process, we must come up with a project charter at the end of this step. The project charter is typically a small short document, typically a couple of pages, and it should include: number one, project description, scope of the project, start and end dates of the project. The project is the one that will help in improving the existing process. Okay, so these are the details of that project. So the description of the project, scope of the project, start and end dates of the project, that when the project will start and when it will end, and success measuring metrics of the project, means how we will determine the success of the project. What are those metrics which will help us assessing or measuring the success of the project? The financial benefits to the organization of this project, milestones of the project, what are the team members and what will be their roles in this project, and if there will be a need or there can be possible need of additional resources for the completion of the project, those must be included in the project charter also. And then CTQ characteristics, what are these critical to quality characteristics that are impacted by the project, means in the service or in the product manufacturing, this project which is supposed to improve the existing process, this project will improve what quality, critical to quality characteristics of that product. Okay, an example of such a project charter is this one. Here you can see this is the project description, this is the opportunity statement, that what is the opportunity that exists in the system, this is the goal, the scope of the project, plan, start and end dates. Okay, and then the team, what is the team, the members will be listed here, and their roles, what they are going to do, that will also be listed in this part. Okay, so this is a short document which we must compile during this measure step. So once the measure step is completed, we arrive at the review process or the toll gate. So here it will the all the achievements of the of this step, means the objectives, what are the objectives of these steps, will be evaluated by an evaluator. Okay, so the it will be evaluated on the basis of these questions, like, does the problem statement focus on symptoms and not on the problem causes or solutions, and are all the key stakeholders identified in the document, what evidence is there to confirm the value opportunity represented by this project, and has the scope of this project been identified to ensure that it is neither too small or too large, has SIPOC diagram or other high level process maps been completed, have any obvious barriers or obstacles to successful completion of the project been ignored, is the team action plan for the measure step of DMIAC reasonable. So all these questions, on the basis of all these questions, the success of the measure step will be evaluated. If it is satisfactory, then you can move towards next step, which is measure.